Now we're rolling into the very first official port of the original Katamari Damacy. It's called Katamari Damacy Mobile. Being that it was not available for any phones in North America or PAL regions, and was entirely locked to Japan, it's a version of this game that most people have never heard of, much less played. Visually, it looks pretty close to how the original version of the game looks. Everything still reads pretty well, even on a tiny phone screen. Performance-wise, across the board, it does seem to struggle a bit, mainly in terms of maintaining a consistent frame rate. A lot of the footage that you're seeing here is from an emulator, but I do have this game on an actual phone as well to compare, and the same exact issues were present. And speaking of the hardware, this game ran on the Docomo phones that were exclusive to Japan, and it was played through a service called iMode, which allowed Java games to be downloaded through a website storefront. This version of Katamari Damacy is a relatively straightforward port, but with many reduced features as a result of it running on very old cellular hardware. It's controlled entirely by what qualifies as this phone's version of a D-pad, which is located at the top, and you move the Katamari by pressing forward, you can move the camera with left or right, and then you move backwards by pressing down. Control-wise, it feels halfway decent, which surprised me. There's also a secondary intuitive control scheme where the Katamari is rolled around by tilting the phone. This is also where I should mention that we actually only have a playable demo available. The demo only comes with the first area, in which there are a few different modes that may or may not be playable depending on which version you have. Time trial is more or less the same as just playing through the level normally. It's just about seeing how big you can roll in a specific level within a time limit. The perfect size mode seems to be based on those challenges where you need to reach a certain size and stop, with no actual indicator of how big you are on screen, and eternal mode is pretty self-explanatory. The idea behind the content for this game was that you would download the rest of the maps from a service for a fee, but unfortunately these services have obviously shut down. There does seem to have been 5 different worlds available, so in theory there were at least 5 courses total. So because there's so little content available to actually play, there isn't really much more I can say in this review. The first level is fine, but the game definitely controls, looks, and performs worse than it did on the PS2.